Howdy, Creekwatchers. Ready to calibrate for pH? Let's check in with Beth and see how it's done.
Today, we're going to show you how to calibrate your Oakton 30 pH tester. The first thing we need to do is to make sure we put on our gloves for safety reasons. We have our 3 pillow packs here. We are going to start with the neutral or yellow buffer and pour it into one of the 3 ball jars that we provide in your kit. I prefer to get all 3 laid out before I mix, but you can do one at a time if that works better for you. You can see on the beaker that there is a Sharpie mark to show us where 50 milliliter marking is. So we need to make sure that we fill up with tap water, bottled water preferably, as some of our creek watchers have had problems with distilled water doing this process. Each ball jar we will fill with 50 milliliters of water. Once we get our jars filled with the buffer solution and the water, at that point we need to just mix it really well. The object is to make sure that the crystals have completely dissolved into the water. So we're going to give each buffer solution a good shake. You're going to follow that process for all 3 buffer solutions. Before we proceed, it's a good idea to just take a good look at your solution. You want to make sure that all of them are mixed very well. I see the red still has a couple of crystals. For whatever reason, that seems to be a very regular occurrence with the red buffer solution. It just takes it longer to dissolve for whatever reason. That is looking much better. All right, at this point, we are ready to begin the actual calibration. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove our storage cap. We are going to rinse off the probe with some tap water, and we are going to wipe the bulb off with a Chem wipe. All of these items are in your kit, so you should have everything at hand. Now we're going to do a short press on the pH meter to turn it on. And we always must start with the neutral or 7 buffer. I like to give it a stir, insert the pH meter, and then we're going to do a long press on the cal button. You'll see cal pop up on the screen. You'll see the current pH value along with the intended calibration point. So the meter is going to automatically detect which buffer solution you are using. When you see a smiley face and the smiley face has stayed that way for 5 to 10 seconds, you can proceed with the calibration process. You'll want to make sure that you record 2 things on your data sheet. On the site sample data sheet in the calibration section, you want to record the pH value that is shown on your screen, and you'll want to record the water temperature as well. To lock in your pH calibration, you're going to do another long press on the cal button, and that will return you to your main screen. At that time, look at your screen. Make sure that you see a circle with an M on the screen. If you do not, that means that your calibration did not go through. There should only be, at this point, the M on the screen. If you're seeing all 3, the L, the M, and the H, that means that you did not just calibrate your pH. So that is something really important to look at. At this time, we can now remove the pH meter from the 7.0 solution. We're going to do a quick rinse and another wipe. And it's really important that we always rinse and wipe the pH meter before and after taking a reading or going through a calibration point. We're going to repeat this process with the next two calibration solutions. It doesn't matter whether you calibrate your basic 10-0 solution next or your acidic 4-0 solution, just that both of them are calibrated so that at the end of the process on the screen, you have an L, an M, and an H in circles in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. If you do not have all three of those symbols, your calibration process did not complete and you need to restart with the neutral solution. Once we have completed the calibration and we see all three of our calibration points through the L, M, and H on the screen, at that point we return the storage cap to the probe. If you're going directly out in the field, you can go ahead and empty out your KCl or potassium chloride. If you leave this in the cap, a lot of times things happen in the field and you may knock it over. So that is why we recommend, hey, just go ahead and empty that KCl. You're going to be adding fresh KCl when you return from the field in any case. Also important, you'll want to retain your neutral, and then you can select either the acidic or the basic to keep for your post-sampling check. So today we're going to keep the basic. That means the third jar, which has our acidic buffer solution, we're going to go ahead and empty that out, rinse out the ball jar very thoroughly, and we're going to take that with us in the field so that we can measure pH at our sites. If you are sampling on Sunday, or if you're sampling on Monday and have plenty of time to go back to your house, you can just leave your extra buffer solutions that you need for your post-sampling check at your home. Because let's face it, this is just going to be a lot easier to do at your home as opposed to on your tailgate or inside the hatch compartment of your vehicle. However, if you are going directly from creek watching to one of our drop-off sites, you'll need to take the neutral and your other solution with you. If you recall, a few minutes ago, we decided to keep our basic or tin or blue buffer solution with us. So I have the neutral and I have the basic solution to do our post-sampling checks with. You'll notice to the right of where you recorded your calibration info on the site sample data sheet, there's a post-sampling check area, and that's where you're going to record these values. So just as we did before, we're going to remove the storage cap. We are going to rinse it either with tap water at home or with distilled water if we're still out in the field. We're going to wipe off the electrode or probe. We're going to do a short press to turn the meter on. We're going to uncap the neutral solution first. So we want to do our post-sampling check on the neutral solution first. And we want to make sure that we keep our buffer solutions capped and in a cool, dry place. So please make sure that these are not sitting out in the sun, directly under the air conditioning, anything like that. So again, just as when we took a field measurement, we are not pressing anything once we turn the meter on. We are simply putting it in the solution to obtain a reading. And look at this. Our meter's very happy. It's saying 7.00. Perfect. So we only are going to record the pH value. Again, we're not going to record the temperature here. We only need the pH value, and we're going to record that on our site sample data sheet. After we have gotten the reading, we're going to do another rinse and wipe. which is our standard maneuver at this point. And we're going to need to do the same thing with our acidic or basic. And in this case, it's our basic. So again, hands-free. We're not pressing any buttons. We are only taking a reading. And look at this, 10.01. So we would record 10.0 in the post-sampling check column next to the basic solution. Once we've done that, we're going to do a last rinse, a last wipe until next time. We can turn off the instrument with a long press or just let it turn off itself. And lastly, we want to just rinse out the cap really quickly. And then we're just going to add some fresh KCl. Again, we have this nifty little fill line. So it shows you exactly how high up the KCl should come. Fill it with fresh, recap it, and you can place it back into its storage case. We do recommend that you store it upright in between sampling periods. And again, you're going to put your pH meter with your other instruments in a climate-controlled, cool, dark place until the next sampling period. There aren't a lot of things that can go wrong when you're calibrating, but one thing that you need to keep in mind is that you need to have stable readings for all three buffer solutions, or else the instrument is not going to be calibrated correctly. Each of these buffer solutions should have stable readings, which means that you'll see the smiley face for about 5 seconds. If you're not seeing that and the numbers are wildly fluctuating, going up and down, you should contact staff immediately so that we can help you troubleshoot or get you a new pH meter. So if you're in the field and your pH meter will not stabilize, so that means that the reading continues to drift, you're maybe only getting a blink of a smiley face or maybe no smiley face at all, that means that you need to contact staff immediately so that we can get you a replacement meter.
Thanks for checking in. Happy creek watching.